Hey there, coming back to you again tonight with another video. And the purpose of this video is to further us along in the book together. It's what I want to talk to you about tonight. If you own my shadow book, which is Shadow Work, oh, a spiritual path to healing and integration. Sorry about the camera. It's got an effect on. However, what matters here is this. I'm going to begin walking some baby steps with you into the application part of the book. And so I'm going to read the mind shift that's on page 93, and then just chat with you a little bit about the coming pages. So this chapter starts with beginning the journey. I open my heart as I begin the journey. I have chosen to do this work in concert with the material within this book, and yet I take full responsibility for making this choice, which empowers me even more. I move forward feeling empowered, ready, and willing to face what I need to face in order to find the freedom and the healing that has been held captive within my shadow. I choose now to move forward in love and with love on this adventure. I am ready to practice radical honesty, to put the spiritual practices in place, to give myself the time necessary to meet my own requirements to complete this work. I anticipate more freedom, and I anticipate loving and accepting myself more than I ever have before in my life. I trust myself. I trust this process, and I bask in the sweet reward that this work brings me. With a bounty of gratitude, I release this word to be fully demonstrated. Take note. You could be tempted to go to the application before reading the other material in this book. And I will tell you right now, don't do it. You want to understand the bells and the whistles, the whys and wherefores that come together. Even as I teach my classes, I'm always tying together the foundational understanding and the intention and the why I put things in the order, excuse me, that I did. I'll tell them, we talk about why practice non-judgment, how that fits in. Why is it important to take responsibility? How that fits in to the whole formula. We talk about telling our stories and the danger of telling some of our stories repeatedly and how we reinvest our energy into it. So I'm always building a foundation, which is why, while I'm coming to you from the application part of the book, what I strongly prefer that you do, if you are following along with me, is that you read the beginning before you get here. And so one of the things, and I'm going to do this kind of quick, I want these videos to be short. One of the things, where we start in this part of the book and in all the classes and courses I teach is with the pre-work. The pre-work takes in numerous things, but I'll just mention three right now. And that is to start a practice of non-judgment, non-gossip, and non-complaining. Why? Because when you are practicing those things and you find that you are maybe a habitual complainer, or you're maybe a habitual gossiper, or a habitual judger of people or of yourself, always of the self also, you will begin to learn to understand the mechanism of your mind, which will help you later on to understand why your shadows can exist inside of your consciousness and inside of your heart. If we try to heal the shadow without changing the habits, we have these two contrary things going on. So the pre-work, which at the end of the book becomes the maintenance work, those are the elements that have to come together in order for you to get to the shadow, heal the shadow, integrate the shadow, and then maintain a life where the shadow no longer runs your life. And then the next part, which is in the book, it's on page, let me get it, on page 100 and 101. And they're called two different things. They're two different parts of the same thing. On page 100, it's about setting your intention. You have to, when you get into your car and you drive your car somewhere where you've never been before, it is likely, not definite, but it's likely that you have some form of GPS system now. Most people are functioning with GPS. It's been a long time since I see somebody driving around reading a map or a set of instructions to get somewhere. But even with that, in order to get someplace new, you have to know where you're going. Knowing where you're going keeps you focused, because if I am going to the new restaurant that is in Roxbury, New Jersey, then what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to veer off on this street in Denville or on this street in Dover or on this street anywhere else before I get to where I'm going. Your intention is the driver. It will help you to remember where you're going and to not go down the other roads and be distracted. It is very important. Know what you want. And I always sing high praises to Stephen Covey for creating this, start with the end in mind. That comes from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Start with the end in mind. Very important. And so, kind of a shadow of that part is to know your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you watching this video? Why are you reading my book? Why are you doing shadow work? And again, that why will be the reminder. For me, my why is always about freedom, about freedom from my reactions, freedom from my triggers, freedom from getting caught up and thinking someone outside of me is the problem for my life. My why keeps my attention focused here, not in a selfish or self-serving way, but in a way of responsibility. Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Take time to ponder these things. Write them down in your journal. Do the work. I promise the journey is worth it. Be well. See you in the next video.